I can't believe the news today. I can't close my eyes and make it go away. Sunday, bloody Sunday. Sunday, bloody Sunday. Sunday, bloody Sunday. Sunday, bloody Sunday.
Hi folks, sorry for the technical difficulties. As you can see, we're having a little trouble with the film right now. Bear with us, and we'll get you back to this exciting Ken Hansen Project feature in just a moment. Get it, that's my shot ability.
Well, that took long. And I sent out two texts at the same moment in time. One to McLean and one to Redneck Ramblin'. And I said, which one of these should I review? Redneck beat McLean by about, you heard it, 2 seconds, and they both said the same thing. So when they watch this, they'll... Okay, so instead of reviewing Charleston Bloody Mary Mix, fresh and veggie, we're going to be reviewing Sportsman's Redneck Juice. There was 3 different versions of this: original spicy and clamato. So it had anchovies and clam juice, and it was made for the that's pretty good. See, no, that's like a personal favorite right there. Not like her, but you know, when you're in the middle of, you know, how's your yard, you know, how long have you lived in the area, and oh, nice tits, you know, when they do something like. Okay, so first we start with 1 shot of vodka. Throw in some olives, just because. I'm sure they're like wedged on the very bottom. And I grabbed the smallest tongs possible. So with our 1 shot, then we then top it off with Redneck Juice. We use the tactical. Do it this way this time. Almost seems like it's like I'm prepared or whatever. Give it a little tussle. Okay. Sunday Bloody Sunday. Hasn't it been a while since I've done one of these? It just works out that normally, in this case, I shouldn't have done one yesterday, so I would have done one today. But you know, I've just, yeah. I have problems. Maybe we'll discuss that. But the one person that will always get back to me is the one person. It's not a daddy complex, but when I seriously have some kind of a problem, and it almost doesn't matter what it is, there's one of you, I'm not going to mention any names, that I always rely on and respect your opinion so much. And I have a huge issue with the company. And I honestly, I don't know how to get completely around it. For the most part, you've already heard me bitch about it. And I also want to say hi to Ben, the owner of Warrior Brewing. Talked for a while this morning, and I'm going to be asking you some questions. Hopefully I won't forget. I'll just do it right now. So, he's a wheel gun guy, and prefers 44 Magnum. But he's looking for the perfect home defense, a home EDC round. And I told him he may want to look at, and I don't know if they make it or not, but Underwood 44 Special with, like, say, the Hornady XTP head. Either way, I told him Hornady or Underwood. They're one of the most consistent companies. Their ammo is just top notch. Ben, cheers. Damn. I thought it was great. Today I didn't have to do anything other than errands that I normally do on Saturday. So, long story short, I didn't set an alarm. I'm just like, I'm sleeping in. Woke up at 5:35. Normally I'm on the job at that time. Kind of tastes like red vodka. It's really, honestly, it's kind of bland. It's really, honestly bland. Of course, my favorite 44 Magnum is not in the lineup, but three of my favorite non-44 Magnums are. My 44 Magnum is my 3-inch Smith & Wesson 696. What am I? 629. Jesus God. Yeah, this is honestly the first thing I've had a drink. I'm just running on a natural high. I ran my errands, and then Christine informed me that she forgot to tell me to go get something, so of course I had to take the bike. And the store that I went to, and Bloody Mary mix. The farthest is the Bloody Mary mix, and I want to say it's 3.5 miles from here to the liquor store in another state. And by the time I pulled into the parking lot, I had rolled 48 miles. So, kind of, I kept missing left-hand turns. Then when I got back, yesterday I sprayed 2 coats of primer on the new grill from my truck. There's no reason that it had to be done other than the fact that I had it and didn't pay any money for it. So for a can of primer and a can of the paint that I've been using to fix all the rust spots on my truck, I will be putting a grill that at least doesn't have a crack in it. Of course, it'll still be sitting right next to a great big dent on my truck, which I tried the typical way of trying to get the dent out from behind by putting the tool through the hole and trying to get to that position and see if I could pop it up, but all I did is just made things worse, which I kind of predicted before I ever started. So there is that. Yeah, representing the 44 Magnum Ben is my wife's beautiful Smith & Wesson 44 Magnum Model 29. Mod. I can't. You know, I really don't know. I think that's supposed to be a 3. It just has a mark in it. 29 Mod 3. And then, of course, these are not what I would want to use as a home defense round, unless I was trying to, shoot somebody behind my refrigerator from Mike's house, because these are Mikey's wonder rounds. Let's see, missing the club by the amount of time it took me to get upstairs. Smile Money says, cheers, Clevers. J-Dog says first, and Bad says first indeed. Cheapo Gun Guy says compromise isn't a happy ending. Mega.
Fuck Joe Biden! Fuck Joe Biden! Fuck Joe Biden!
Mr. 27 says third show viewer. Then he says purple drink. Cobra says F7. F7 is a miss. Cobra says the audio in this video is tenacious, or is it the tinnitus? Hell, high-pitched hum non-stop. That's the fan. I think you have to shift these to John's solar, but okay. I don't know. That's not even my copy. That's I'm playing it off of WokeTube. McLean, I have always kept dip in the fridge. Then he says, have you ever tried to bring a dead car battery back to life? Nope. The only thing I've ever done successfully is bringing a dead Milwaukee drill battery back because the problem is a battery, when it gets so dead, is so dead that the charger doesn't sense that it's there, so the charger never does anything. And if you can put some kind of just a minuscule amount of, turn that annoying off, just a minimal amount of voltage back into the battery, then it basically doesn't trick, but then the charger sees that it's there, and then the charger charges it. But I can tell you this, any battery that I have never been able to get to charge initially, oh, I also did it with some DeWalt batteries that neighbor John gave me. Any battery that I've ever been able to rejuvenate enough to take a charge doesn't work worth a shit after that. So it's kind of like, go ahead, give her a try. Maybe somebody will have had more positive results than me. But any battery that wouldn't be recognized by the charger, that I tricked into the charger recognizing it, ended up in the garbage anyway. I suppose you could be tricky and for the cost of, what is it? Was it 7 of these inside of a Makita battery? If you can take that case apart and just look at how if they're soldered in series, or if they're in parallel, or if there's a few in parallel and then some in series, and you were to just be able to solder it back together, I can guarantee you can get a bunch of. Actually, my favorite was these. You can get a bunch of these for almost nothing on Amazon. McLean, Eric, I'm having a dry spell. What can I do to fix it? Spit on it. McLean, let's up the enthusiasm, Red. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I thought yesterday I was doing pretty good. Today, while I was out riding, I ended up at the. Of course, it was probably really good that it's Sunday and they're closed, but I ended up at the Dodge dealership, and I just wanted to look at some of the options for vans, at least. Okay, and I know most people say it's stupid to buy a brand new one, even though if you get a brand new one, you get a warranty and you don't have to worry about shit. The van that basically is going to be, I think, the minimum that will work for me is in the Dodge anyway. I can't remember what the Ford is called, but in the Dodge it's called the Transit. And originally I was thinking about that smaller one, but there's just no way. I mean, I'd be wasting my money. It's way too small. Those things are Christine's Honda Pilot. Honestly, has more interior room than that one. The one, if I won the lottery, the one that I would get right now is the Transit 1-ton, and the Transits are all-wheel drive, and what I really liked. I took a picture of the side of it, for God's sakes. Well, here's an example of the one that I really like is behind the pole, and it's had the roof addition done to it so that you can stand up in it, giving you just a little bit more headroom or shelf room on it. The problem is this guy is a 3/4 ton without the roof assembly, and it's $58,000. And this one basically is all the comfort features, along with the it's a 1-ton, and it has the roof added to it, and that costs you $10,000 more, getting you to $68,000. I'm not necessarily saying that for me it has to be a brand new van, but here's the thing. And I know people like John Solar, John will say it's stupid, blah, 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 blah. But you know what? You know how comforting it was to have 8 years of warranty, bumper to bumper, for Christine's vehicle? I mean, I know stuff went out on it, but I have no memory really of it because there was no reason to. I brought it to the dealership. They gave us a vehicle to use. Well, they're fixing, I think one time we actually had to have a loaner vehicle, and that was for the air conditioning condenser unit. There was a recall on them. So my thing is obviously I have my truck and the plow and my Subaru as collateral to either try to sell outright or, I don't know, offer as a trade-in. Sometimes that works out for you, sometimes that does not work out for you. Like Matt, when he traded in his, not only did they drop the price of the truck, but they also gave him pretty much top dollar for his Toyota. But my thing is this isn't just going to be a work vehicle for me. This is going to be my only vehicle. So if I have to run an errand, or I want to go visit Jeremy and Caitlin, or Jolson and Teresa, I will be getting into a vehicle that I want to, and I don't mean to be brutal, but I want to fucking be able to rely on it. I am sick and tired of having, thankfully we've had one, in the time me and Christine have been married, we have had one new vehicle. And I think she said that was the first new vehicle she had ever had in her life. Again, I'm not saying, I have to have the $70,000 van, but it had the nice seats, and it had the great big display, and it had a nice sound system, and it was something set up for, if it turned out that I needed to, I'm going on vacation, and we just needed to be able to make enough room, or I'm going to go down to Jeremy's, and he found, I don't know, make something up. He found something on sale in Duluth and asked, if I could pick it up and bring it down to him. That he thought that would, one of those scenarios. It's like, it's not going to be the work vehicle. It's not going to be like the truck that is sitting there, because I will be selling the truck, and I will be selling the plow with the truck, and I will be selling my Subaru, and this will become my only vehicle. But and that the little guy would obviously be cool. But the problem is it looked like most of those were front wheel drive, which is still far cry better than rear wheel drive. I refuse. I won't even entertain the idea. Live in Duluth for one average winter, not like the couple that we've had recently, and you'll wonder how you even get around with a 4-wheel drive. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you get on the radio and they're all calls for anybody that has snowmobiles and big lifted monster trucks that can help transport patients and doctors to and from their homes to the hospital during some snowstorms. It happens. It's an average thing. But yeah, after getting, like I said the other day, after getting a chance to see the inside of that smaller, the commuter, I think it is, there's just no way. I mean, Christine's Pilot honestly has more interior room. If I want to actually not have to play musical tools and just have it be like it was when I worked for Riverside and Superior Floor Care, if I needed, no matter what came up on the job, I was able to resolve it. So there's McLean. if I'm anywhere, I decided to do the brewery review to try to forget the fact that somehow I need to resolve this, because I can't do the truck as a work vehicle. As it works fine. It works fine if I was doing the and more part all the time, but I want to be able to do the sanding part. And as a floor refinishing vehicle, the truck is not it. It's not going to happen. Yes. Weird day today here in Duluth. 1 minute it's sunny, almost blue skies while I'm in the car. Then I come home and get on the bike, and it was like all of the shit from Canada shifted and came down here. And you know, like 50 miles later, I decided to work on putting the final coat on the new grill for the truck, and the sun comes out, and it's nice. Hey Google, what's the weather like in Duluth right now?
Currently in Duluth it's 68 degrees and cloudy. Today, it'll be mostly cloudy, with a forecasted high of 68 and a low of 57.
It's a little bit better when it's, let me take that back. It's about the same. When it was 50-50, you knew you were getting more vodka. Now you're just getting more of this. It's not hideous, but for almost double the price of the Major Peters mix, which they were all out of. The girl working had she had no idea what I was even talking about, but she left a note for the manager to see if they were going to order more Major Peters. I don't know. The price was so good on the Major Peters, it was almost like they were selling it to get rid of it, which is a damn shame, because for me, it's the best mix for a bloody beer. And when I say that, I think that the flavor's probably a little bit better with Nan's, and equally a little bit better with Filthy, but at half the price, it is not half as good. It is right up there. And so for shit, what did I pay for that? $3.99, or maybe it was. Let's just say it was $4.99. Well, I think this was $8.99. Seriously, just hand me the gun and walk the fuck away, 'cause I want that rifle. It looks like it's probably a big boy, though. Looking at the opening, I don't know if that would be a 50 cal. It's probably a 338 Lapua. I would rather have something like this. Oof. I would rather have something like that in even the 308, but I don't know. I guess I haven't done the research enough, for if I was to say, what is the best round, what is the best caliber if you wanted a gun that was specifically built to just say, punch a target at, 1,700 yards is a mile, so a mile and in, just something like that. I mean, I know my JP was built to live in the 1,000-yard range, but, I've also said I don't have any remorse. Don't have any remorse. Right about now, I would like to have the money if I had the $10,000 back in my hand and I sold my truck and I sold my car, I could maybe get a van payment for a reasonable price. But when I'm still at a point where, McLean, the weepy part, I'm still at a point where, I don't know if the phone is going to ring tomorrow or the next day or the next day or the next day. I do know that I am going to go bid another job on Thursday, and she's also, coincidentally, my personal tax person. So I need to have a conversation with her about becoming my tax person for 454 flooring. So there's another job. There's another job pending. So I don't want a payment. I can't. I've absolutely loved the fact that other than the reoccurring things that we all have, the only thing extra that I even have in my life right now, my equipment that I bought for sanding. Other than that, there's one other thing, but there's just it's not like a $700 a month van payment or something like that. That's just not going to happen. Smile Money didn't beat the night owls to the comments. 1 a.m. posting was past my bedtime. Well, that's because it was edited. It was rendering while Christine was doing her live stream last night, so I didn't get a chance to upload it until I was on my way to bed. Smile Money says, I did retire, then they asked me back for 2 days a week. On my second year of that, they did when I work 2 nights a month on a township board. Then I dedicated my spare time to watching these brew reviews. I have a comedy/research writing career with these read more comments. Laugh out loud. Smile Money, proving grounds. Do you ever remember how to find the proving grounds? Laugh out loud. Yeah. Smile Money, taste. Even those big fake ones have a natural outer coating. Oh, that's right. That's true. Mm-hmm. Don't take this the wrong way, baby, but I'd rather have the car. Car, don't take this the wrong way, but I think I'd rather have the girl. Okay. The gun that I truly wonder why it is still together and that would be my Raging Bull. One of my favorite guns. You remember, it's chambered in 454 Casoul. Oh, and Ben, if you're watching, I don't know, these are buffalo bore, and I don't necessarily know that they're hotter powder-wise than, say, some of the stuff that Mikey loads for me, but that big lunk of lead leaving the gun, definitely. This one is probably the one that has the most felt recoil, is the those buffalo bore. And I have these grips on there, and I know there's people out there that constantly ask me, what do you recommend? And my problem is maybe it's aesthetics, how a gun looks. I personally, you couldn't pay me to put rubber grips on a gun if I had no other choice. And what pisses me off about this is the only aftermarket wood grips that I've seen have all been $200 and up, and I just couldn't bring myself to doing it. You know, if I could get a wood grip like the ones on the 686, but beefed up for the, you know, something basically just like this, but for the Raging Bull. That's what I'd really like. I mean, this is one of my favorite grips. Big thanks to Paul Hasman 440. Lever Revolution, baby. Helps to stabilize the round when I put it from ear to ear on a trespasser in my domain. But definitely my favorite of all of these to shoot is the Raging Bull. If I purchased another revolver, just because of that whole I love recoil thing, I would definitely get the BFR in 4570. Shooting Jolson's dad's was absolutely, I would have just shot that until there was no ammo left if it wasn't for the fact that I felt guilty about pulling the trigger every single time on that. He's like, Dan's a good guy. He's like, no, go ahead, have fun. And then after the 4570, definitely the Smith & Wesson 480, 470, 480, 460, 460, 460. I would rather have that than the 500. Basically because I'd be able to shoot a bunch of shit through that. Okay, let's see how this is as a beer additive. McLean, I had to do that before everything settled. I like it more as a beer additive than I like it as a Bloody Mary, but there's something funky. There's something funky in the taste of it. Oh, fuck, it's from Wisconsin. No wonder. Fuck it. Never mind. Throw it away. I give this a 0. Just kidding. Let's see. Water, tomato paste, Worcester sauce, very high on the list. That is what I'm tasting. Vinegar, molasses, corn syrup, water, salt, caramel color, garlic powder, sugar, spices, tamarind, natural flavors, salt, cayenne pepper sauce, distilled vinegar, aged cayenne red peppers, salt, xanthan gum, garlic powder, distilled vinegar, cucumber, beef stock, ground celery seed, spices, sodium benzoate, perfect, potassium sorbonate, perfect. That's a shelf life of the life expectancy of a cockroach. Picked up some Limburger cheese today. They had, wow, they must have had 20 blocks in. I grabbed 2 and already wished I would have just grabbed 4. But they're close. Fuck yeah. Stick it in, slap her on the back of her ass and tell her she's the ugliest chick you've ever, and then try to stay in for 8 seconds. See, this is my girl, and she's not really a redhead. This isn't the most awesome picture of her, and to be kind of honest, she almost looks like a real doll in this picture, which I might even think that she was if it wasn't for the fact that I know she's not. And then there's Golf Girl. One sky. What flipboards? In my defense, I was distracted by a redhead 7 minutes into the video. No, that's fine. Unfortunately, I spent like, what, 30 minutes trying to find a girl I would, that was worthy of just saying, you know what? Bye, Christine. I'm leaving with this chick. And I guess that's a good thing for how I feel about Christine. When all those girls that we saw after I made that announcement, not a single one of them were on a list that I would leave with. That's what she wants. She wants the Spocker. Wade, nice shirt. You drink the beer and I'll pet the dogs. Okay. Wade, and recharging old rechargeable batteries. If you have any doubts about a battery, toss it. I do this because one blew up on me in the charger, and I'm going to set my shop on fire. Words to the wise. Somebody needs to tell Matt too. Second cousins, not going to lie, when you're 14, 15, or 16, temptation is real. Rich, no comment. Rich, cheers all. El Tenda says cheers. Cheers, buddy. Tom, quote of the day. Civil war happens when the victimized are armed. Genocide happens when they are not. E.A. Salmon? Salmon. It's Mrs. Salmon. Just kidding. Wow, that fish has a bigger chest than she does. Sharky, cheers all. KS47 on deck. Here we go. Swamini, you're going to need a bigger film studio to display male items. How about female items? No, not running away with her. What time is it? Oh geez. Oh, and I don't even know if I've ever, I don't know, this one, it's kind of like, who gives a shit? I don't know if I've ever even shown it. It's a Smith & Wesson model 610 Gen 1. Even though somehow David is somehow convinced his creature from the id that a Gen 1 is somehow something you should try to avoid. Question: would you rather have a first generation Python, Delta Elite? What the hell? Did you see that? I think I just had nasal intercourse with some flying thing. I got completely distracted. What's been out there? I personally, I would not want. I would only to have it to say I have a Gen 1 and a Gen 2. That's the only reason that I'd want a repop of anything. Like for instance, this. And what's one of the things that pisses me off more than anything is the fact that my Smith & Wesson 629 has the Clinton cunt hole right there, where, well, look, this does not. But yeah, this is chambered in, I think this is chambered in 10 millimeter. Yeah, I don't know, there's nothing really special about it. I think this might be the first time I've ever shown it on camera. And yes, I absolutely would like the 10 millimeter revolver from that Rhino. I would definitely take one of those in 10 millimeter. I have to say, I am shocked, and thanks J-Dog sending me the link that they're making a 10 millimeter version of it now. I am shocked that they made a 10 millimeter version of that revolver before they made a 44 Magnum version of it. I said I did not want to own one of those in 357 Magnum. I was on a holdout until the day that came that I could afford it and they were producing a 44 Magnum. But now that they're making it in 10 millimeter, and I was going to work on the video for this today. I am going to send Brennite a link to my unboxing. Actually, not on the backup channel, on the main captain channel. And I am not going to bother. Oh God, I am not going to bother doing a video at this moment in time because this is unavailable. I was going to work on a video for this today, and all I wanted was to show it off on the screen behind me too, the Amazon link, and it kept going to the previous version, the one that, I don't think it's that one. I think that was the one that's on my running gun. I think that was the second one I ever owned. There was the prototype, and then there's this one. And then the one that's on Alice is the 1600 lumen one. This is 1300. Then the 1600, and then this guy. But you can't. They pulled the link to it. It has been sold. They can't keep this one in stock. It's been sold out. Now, not to sound like I'm interested, I found a company called Dark something, and they make something that looks exactly like, God yes, where were these girls yesterday? Exactly like this, except for they put Picatinny rail right here. I mean, I'm not saying that you could put your front sight on top of this, because now you've got to figure out how if they sold an adapter that was this thickness with Picatinny rail on it, then it would make more sense. But yeah, this other company, basically it looks just like this with Picatinny rail on it. Weird. Yeah, I figured I might as well, why even bother to do a video on a product that's not even available? Sharky, STI, changed their name to Staccato in 2020. A new in the box one for $1,400 I call bullshit. A quick Google tells me 8 months ago a used one sold for $3,850, and another more rare black, also used, sold for $6,575. An empty original box for a perfect 10 might even cost more than $1,400. For fuck's sakes. An empty perfect 10 box is selling for okay, I some of it's my bad. I think me and David had the conversation before I did the review, but David was mixing up what Craig has is a new in the box Delta Elite, the second gen. I already talked to Sharky. Sharky goes, okay, that makes absolute total sense that that's what it is. Oh, stay put. Stay put, little baby. See, here's the thing. I don't really care for a real full-on GI-looking 1911, as full disclosure. This one is, if it was blued, would look... Actually, I can show you exactly what it looks like. Where are we in time? We had an hour yet? Hell yeah, baby! What did I do with it? Other than the grips, the hammer got a little beefier, but other than that, a Gen 1 Delta Elite looks an awful lot like a full-on GI. I mean, I don't have the little hook. I got more of a lump in the mainspring housing. The beaver tail is a little bit different, and the hammer is definitely different. This one has more of a revolver. A GI, it looks more like a revolver, but they basically have the same sights, serrations, triggers. Like I said, the hammer is. So, other than that, and then the so what I so like about this is, even though I'm not a fan of a full-on GI, this is a 10 millimeter, and it's a 10 millimeter that looks so much different than every other 1911 that I have. All the 1911 10 millimeters all have one thing in common. They all have all of the latest stuff. The bigger beaver tail, the skeletonized trigger, the skeletonized hammer, Novak sights, and this is just all unique, all to itself. Matted flat top. It's just, what makes it so beautiful to me is the fact that it's kind of so unlike the other ones. But again, if the fact that it's chambered in 10 millimeter is what drives the pitter-patter for me of this. And when you look at like David's Gen 2 Delta, it just kind of looks like the Kimber Raptor with this kind of serrations. I mean, it's just it's getting all of the modern stuff. I just think it's so badass for what it is. It's a 10 millimeter. Hey, as long as they're doing this, Sharkey, is it okay for me to call you Sharkey? What? From Holland? Yeah. Oh, there we are. Gotta find that sweet spot. Basement pop. Why not? Mr. 27, massive melons, real massive melons. Sharky says echo, 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 4. E4 is a miss. Oh, Gaza City. Love it. Sharky, VP9 still looks good to me. The wear on the Hollison logo just shows the paint they use can't handle your ginger sweat. Cheap ass bastards. Read more. And it's not puff, 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 pass, plain brew babe roulette. You either pick the one shown and therefore miss the next, or pass on the one shown and end up with the next. You either pick the one shown, therefore miss the next. Oh, okay, I get it. Okay, so if I say, well, then what do you do for it like this? I'd pass on this. It's just she's cute and all, but she's a fucking stick. Okay, she's a stick. Okay, and if it's not puff puff puff, so that means I get her. Or pass on one shown and end up with the next. Okay. So, but now I ended up with her and didn't have to sleep with the other one. But I don't want to keep this one, so I'm committed to the next one. I'd do her in the back of the Jeep and then send pictures of me to Cobra. Cobra, look. I take the doors off. Cobra, look, the doors are off. As her head is banging into the back bar. Just kidding.
Listen, you're being rude. You're fake news. You're fake news. Stop being rude.
Yeah, I'm good. Sharky, SH, outro babe. Nice. Bat says, greetings, Captain. Greetings, right nipple. Last comment in is J-Dog says the 1066 is on your right. Well, J-Dog, yeah, I figured you'd know, because I went back and watched the video, and you can plainly see the lever on the 1076 on the left-hand side to drop the hammer. So it was all over when you could see the side. So, but here's how it works out. Fuck you, you're never getting it. And that winds up this backup channel review of Sportsman's Redneck Juice. On a scale of 1 to 10, specifically designed just for Bloody Mary mixes, I give the Redneck Juice a solid 6.5. Is it drinkable? Yes. Would I buy it again? Not a chance. Will it get used? Yes, it will. Probably something like this. I truly hope that's just something on the picture and she doesn't have that tattooed on her ass. Now, on the getting to choose, the last one or this one over the two. My bottle is sweaty. Hold that thought. Sharkey. When I was down at Warrior, the bartender, I tried the Cerveza Blood Orange, and it's a very drinkable beer, but I like the regular Cerveza more, which is, they have a blood orange version of this, or this, and this. And I told her, I don't know if you're into what I call bloody beers, tomato juice, but that Cerveza is frickin' awesome. She goes, I never even thought about that. She goes, I am definitely going to have to try that. But then, if you hear me say this, the cross between Arizona tea and a seltzer water is a huge freaking hit. As much as I like beer, the next time I'm down there, if you still have that peach, I am definitely going to get that one again. Of course, I think he said that was their #1 seller right now. Sorry. Like I said, I was about to do the video. This one is actually the the one that came out after the prototype. Alice has the newest version with the 1600 lumens, and I would absolutely love to put this on Alice, but I'd have to lose my my front sight. It's either that, or if I move the front sight behind the light, if you were ever in a situation where you had to, I mean, I keep iron backup sights on Alice in case something were to happen to the red dot, and because it has the quick release, and the flip side, the magnifier has a, so I would have that all covered. I like putting the latest greatest, and it would be, I don't know, that nobody made a comment. I was talking about putting this on the one with the Wraith, and I have yet to try putting the laser on while looking through the Wraith. I still have to actually go out and punch some 300 blackout to make sure that it's dialed in, but then I'd be able to just walk this. The Wraith has a really nice zeroing system, and then of course I'd be looking through the Wraith at 100 yards again at the neighbors, and then I could dial. Of course, you know, no big deal that they see this coming from the house a block away. That is a pretty decent. It's got a good beam. When you can aim it at a monitor and still see where it is on the TV upstairs. I guess I'd have to try this. If it isn't a powerful laser, you actually cannot see where the beam is. What's this little extra one though? There's like a dot on the side of the dot. I can't see it with any kind of light. It takes black. I don't know. I won't lie. Through night, I won't mat. Through night and Bryn night both do very, very nice flashlights. Maybe I'll remember tonight. I don't know. I just want to see, you know, is a regular laser too bright? I mean, that, and if you were actually going to really get the job done, you'd want a beam that they can't see, but you can see. Yeah. She's a non-redhead, and she could possibly cause a marital problem. Bad says, howdy, Clevers. Bad. Ed says hi. See, it's kind of like it's a two-hearted ale with a Bloody Mary around the outside. There, glass is clean. It can be put away. That says, how's the business going, Captain? You making bank? Well, I can't escape the and more part, which the one that I'm on is working for my previous employer, and trying to show a big thank you to the fact that he could. I mean, he's one that called me and said, "I'm not going to do this if you won't flip it." So, could I be making more money if I was doing refinishing jobs instead of working for him on a by hour scenario? Of course, but as of right now, I haven't turned down a single job because I was working for him. As a matter of fact, I double dipped and I went from work to work. So, but just to answer your question, I have spent 14 years of my life, and not all of it at what I charge by the hour right now to him. That would be even a completely different number if it was just somebody I didn't know. But if it's a friends or family scenario, what I'm charging him is probably what I would charge to somebody. It pays all the bills. I mean, it doesn't get me a Hellion or a Rhino 10 millimeter, but you know, it does more than enough. I mean, I'm not gonna complain. But now, being able to do sanding work and bid it, we'll just say that it took me about 30 hours. 30 hours to unload all the equipment, do the job, coat, put all 3 coats on the job, and make sure, and that covered all the time for loading all the equipment back up and then unloading it and putting it in the garage. If it wasn't for the fact that I have my truck and it's not working out, I wouldn't have had to unload it all. But put that aside. A total of 30 hours from start to finish on her job was the equivalent to 3 weeks of the and more part right now, if that answers your question. So if I could just get into doing nothing but my sanding, and kudos to my marketing company, Square Marketing. They, if you do a search for hardwood flooring refinishing Duluth Superior area, I am on the front page right now, and that's what they said that they would get me to. So now I just need good Google reviews. Being that it's Google's game, if you don't know this, everything on a Google search is driven by Google reviews. If I had 47 5-star Google reviews, you pretty much write your own way. Then all of a sudden they start actually pushing you because you have such high ratings. But, you know, as of right now, let's not forget where history brought us, though. Vivian on one side. Let's go, Brandon. Okay. Those are nice, too. Last comment was Mike saying cheers. Cheers, Mike. Hit the button. Wow. Wow. You're not from Holland? It's going to be a gamble. Those do look nice, but I guess I'm committing to the next one. However this game is played, Sharky. Yeah, again, Cobra, I had no idea what the issue with this, what you heard for sound. I mean, as far as everything I can think of, I think one time I forgot to turn the dehumidifier off in there. The fan, I don't really give a shit if that sound bothers you. If I'm going to stand here and my shirt is slowly going to be filled with sweat, then yeah, right now I don't need the fan. Fan's not on. The one thing that maybe is annoying, and neither one of them have turned on yet during this review, is the sound of the compressor and the mini fridges. Neither one of them are on right now, though. Should have a basement pop and then see who can get closest to how long it will take Chris to get down here and bitch about what was that. Huh. I could probably overlook the tattoos, but I don't want to. Let's see. Sort by newest first. Did anybody get screwed? Oh, Salty did. He says, I don't always get naked, but when I do, I get extra naked. Nice. Yeah, you got hosed on that. McLean got pulled for hickory dickory dock. Eric was brushing my cock. The cock struck two. I dumped my goo. I left a bitch on the next block. Ooh, yeah. Andrew Dice Clay. Love Andrew Dice Clay. Love. I wasn't paying attention. Where this is a keep. No matter what she wants to play, orange hair, black hair, blonde hair, she always has a shapely body with big boobs. The client that got pulled. Eric, I'm wet. Huh.
That was bullshit.
Yeah, when I got there, it was definitely not wet. I mean, I spit on it, and it was like spitting on a 120-degree cement walkway. It was just, and it was gone. Fucking liar. Okay. Who's Ben Collins? But he got to drive the Ferrari F80, world's fastest car. Oh, what Kentucky ballistics do? Modern firearms function with black powder. You know, for all of you, for all of my awesome friends out there that I definitely honestly feel bad that I have, yes, her nipples are gigantar. I mean, I think that's the way they are, soft, so I can only imagine what happens when you do a little lick and stick. Her tits completely threw me off my game. Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna have to call this one. What the hell did I do? I got Bloody Mary on my face? Imagine yourself right here, McLean, in that ass. Okay, let's go back and check wherever the club went. There we are. Am I gonna do a review tomorrow? Hey Google, what's the weather forecast for tomorrow?
Tomorrow in Duluth it'll be cloudy, with a high of 65 and a low of 59.
Is it supposed to rain?
There's a good chance of rain in Duluth tomorrow from 2 p.m. to 4 a.m.
2 p.m. Oh, fuck. Okay, I'll probably do a brew review tomorrow. Hey Google, do you like hanging out with me when I do brew reviews?
Sorry, I don't understand.
Grok does.
Sorry, I didn't understand. But I found something similar. Do you want to know why is Gen Z obsessed with Crocs?
No.
Okay.
I could give a fuck. Hey Google, would you like your salad tossed?
Sorry, I don't understand.
What does it mean to have your salad tossed?
On the website united.ca, they say, eating ass, rimming or tossing salad are the more exciting terms for the act of analingus, oral sex on the bumhole. This is another taboo topic that my generous editors indulged me in writing about this month.
That's great. I can't wait to see this in my inbox.
Hope it's good.
Oh yeah. Hey, have you ever tongue punched the fart box? Hey Google, what does it mean to tongue punch the fart box?
Sorry, I don't understand.
Look it up.
I'm listening. Go for it.
You can't find any information on the entire internet about tongue punching the fart box? Come on.
I don't know. Maybe I can help with something else.
If you had a little flappy tongue, you could stick it in my ass. Okay, one last check, and then we're gone. Okay. Looks like if it's raining tomorrow, you'll see me. If not, I'm going to be out on a motorcycle or replacing the grill in my truck. Cheers. And thanks for checking out the backup channel.